Welcome back to Mobile Automation with UiPath Test Suite. In this second demo of our Mobile Automation Best Practices series, we'll learn how to use a mobile device connection as a variable. Mobile automation projects often combine working with different devices, processing data, or other sub-processes that involve other environments than the first defined. Being able to store device connections as variables allows calling them any number of times and easily switching between environments, thus reducing the time needed at design time and at runtime. Let's see how it's done. Please check the version of the Mobile Automation Activities package installed with your Studio Pro before getting to the automation part. The minimum supported version is 21.3.0 preview. Alright, we'll start with a mobile automation workflow created beforehand. When executed, this submits a loan application on the UI Bank web portal. You should already be familiar with it from some of the previous demos. In this workflow, all the UI activities are placed inside a single mobile device connection scope. That's normal, but let's assume that our workflow needs to include a subroutine involving a different device and a different app, somewhere in the middle. For example, here, we can simulate this subroutine with a simple message box activity. Obviously, there's no point in having the extra logic inside the original mobile device connection scope activity. So, let's move the message box out of it. But what should we do with the rest of the UI activities, those coming after the message box? Well, clearly move them out of the initial scope. Otherwise, they would break the control flow. Immediately, we can notice an error. This is because in order to execute mobile UI automation activities, we always need a mobile device connection scope. So, let's add one here and drag the rest of the activities inside. We'll leave the message box out of the second scope activity. As a matter of fact, out of the first one too. Let's now make it work. Go to the properties of the first mobile device connection. Here we have the input and output connection fields. In the output connection field, we'll create a new variable using Ctrl+K. Now, the connection used here is stored in this new variable. Awesome. Let's now go to the properties of the second mobile device connection. And in the input connection field, we'll call the variable we defined earlier. This way, both scope activities will use the same connection. But there's one little detail to take care of. To make sure the whole thing runs smoothly, we need to make sure that the connection remains open even after the first set of UI activities is executed, so that the new scope activity will pick it up without the need to reconnect. Let's select the first mobile device connection, go to the Properties panel, and set the close option to Never. And that's it. It's that simple to pass a mobile device connection as a variable from one scope activity to another. Let's now run our automation. We'll open Mobile Device Manager to see it in action. All the activities in our first mobile device connection scope are executed. And this is the moment in which our automation steps out of the mobile connection to perform the subroutine. Then the second set of UI activities is being executed with no delay on the original device. Great. With that, we have reached the end of this demo. With this little trick, you should be able to speed up development and execution of mobile device automation projects. Ready to try it on your own? Before closing here, let's do a quick recap. So far, we've seen how to create a variable to store the mobile device connection, and how to use the variable in a mobile device connection activity. That's all for using mobile device connection as a variable. See you later.